Maintaining a stable internal environment, or homeostasis, is essential for surviving of a human being. Living organisms must maintain water and mineral balance, and it must continuously remove toxic byproducts generated by metabolism. The organ that is responsible for this important process is kidneys. Nephron is a single functional unit of kidney. Each kidney has about 1 million of nephrons. The major function of nephrons is to filter blood and to regulate water and electrolyte balance. In this video we will take a look at nephron anatomy, blood filtration, and formation of urine. Firstly, let's get familiar with the anatomy of the nephron. There are two parts of a kidney nephron, the renal corpuscle and the renal tubule. The renal corpuscle is the part of the kidney nephron in which blood gets filtered. The renal corpuscle of each kidney nephron has two parts. There are glomerulus, which is a network of capillaries, and the Bowman's capsule, also known as the glomerular capsule, which is the double-walled epithelial cup within which the glomerulus is contained. After Bowman's capsule, the filtrate travels into renal tubule. The first part of the renal tubule is called proximal convoluted tubule. After passing through the proximal convoluted tubule, filtrate enters the loop of Henle, which consists of two portions, the descending limb of Henle and the ascending limb of Henle. After that, filtrate passes into distal convoluted tubule and drains into the collecting duct. To understand how urine is formed, we need to get familiar with three processes involved. These are filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. First step in the urine production is glomerular filtration. Blood enters into Bowman's capsule of nephron through the afferent arteriole, gets filtered into glomerular capsule, and then exits through the smaller in diameter efferent arteriole. The amount of filtrate formed in all renal capsules of both kidneys each minute is called glomerular filtration rate. The normal rate in male adults is 125 milliliters per minute. Glomerular filtration rate is the best test to measure level of kidney function and determine any stage of kidney disease. Glomerular vessels have fenestrated layer in endothelium, which allows the passage of water in small molecules but retains blood cells and larger molecules, like proteins. Presence of proteins or red blood cells in the urine may indicate that person may have a kidney disease, such as glomerulonephritis, a condition where glomeruli become so inflamed and swollen that the filtration membrane allows red blood cells and proteins to pass. But in a healthy individual, formed filtrate composition consists of water, sodium, bicarbonate ions, glucose, amino acids, urea, and some creatine. Only about 1% of the glomerular filtrate actually leaves the body. The 99% are reabsorbed back into the blood, as filtrate passes through the renal tubules ducts. This happens because filtrate is full of essential body nutrients. This process is called tubular reabsorption and occurs via three mechanisms: osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. Major part of the nutrients is reabsorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule. All glucose and amino acids, 65% of water, sodium and potassium, half of chloride and urea, and almost all bicarbonate ions. The remaining water passes from the proximal convoluted tubule into the loop of Henle. In the descending loop of loop, reabsorption of water and sodium continues. Ascending part of loop of Henle is almost impermeable to water, though some sodium is continuing to be reabsorbed. After that, filtrate travels into distal convoluted tubule. This is where highly selective reabsorption takes place, allowing for small adjustments to be made, especially between the presence of potassium and sodium. From distal convoluted tubule, filtrate from several nephrons is drained into collecting duct. If a person is dehydrated and more fluid is needed, some water and urea are reabsorbed here to restore the balance. The distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct react to the amount of antidiuretic hormone in the blood. The more ADH is present in the blood, the more water is reabsorbed into it. From the collecting duct, filtrate, which is now officially called urine, is drained through the renal pyramids into renal pelvis, which drains into ureter and to urinary bladder for storage. The third process by which the kidneys clean the blood is called tubular secretion and involves substances being added to the tubular fluid. This removes excessive amount of certain dissolved substances from the body and also maintains the blood at the normal healthy pH. Urea, ammonium, and some drugs from the blood get secreted into proximal convoluted tubule, while hydrogen and potassium ion mainly into distal convoluted tubule. One's entire blood volume gets filtered approximately 20 times each day. Our kidneys are working really hard to keep us alive.